Hi everyone, and welcome to Cape Cod Coins, where today we'll be looking through this quarter box right here. Just picked it up a couple of days ago at the bank, and we'll be looking obviously for any Tuskegee Airmen 2021 quarters, and I think I even see one right here. So that's a good start so far. Of course, we'll also be looking for any 2019 or 2020 W mints, V75 privies, and of course, silver quarters. So I'm going to flip these over, look for any more enders, and we'll get started. And so in addition to this Tuskegee Airmen ender that we found before, it looks like we have yet another one here. So this is an auspicious start for the box, I'd say. Definitely seeing some older enders as well, some 60s dates even. But without any further ado, I'll get started on this and bring you guys in if and when we find some good finds. We are 3 rolls in now, and I just came across our first Tuskegee Airmen 2021 quarters. There were 17 in just that third roll. And they're all Denver mints, which is kind of interesting. Because I just don't do enough shopping, because they're definitely out there finding 17 in one roll, and I'm sure we'll find more. We can even see one right there, in fact. And this is just a lovely reverse design. I know the sketches the mint put out were pretty good, but even so, just seeing this in person, man, you really get a feel for how good this design is. Man, look at that shine. Well, that's 17 of those, and I'll do a count at the end of how many total Tuskegees we get, and I'll bring you back in for more. We are 20 rolls in now, and as you can see, our small stack of Tuskegee before has graduated into a much larger pile. That 18th roll here that had the ender had 26 in it, which brings our total so far through just 20 rolls up to 90 so far. But I'm also bringing you in because in the 20th roll here, we have a 1966 quarter that I was checking for the DDR, and while I think this is just machine doubling on the back, I'm going to post a couple photos here. I think there's some weirdness happening with the LU and Pluribus and the NU and Unum. Again, I think it's just machine doubling, but it's definitely something interesting to look for when you're doing your quarters. As you can tell by the lighting probably, we are on day 2 of the hunt now. Just cracked into roll 26, and I was pulling out the shiny edges, because those have been the 2019s, 20s, and 21s, looking for any W mints, and this was one of them here. As you can see, and I flip it over to the heads, and we have our first real find of the box. This is an S minted San Francisco, not intended for circulation. And we flip it over here, and it is a 2013 Great Basin. You can really tell by those frosted finishes on the fields there. It's a nice quarter. Not a ton of other finds in the box so far. We have all these Tuskegees here as well. And a few really nice state quarters that I've pulled aside, and a few album fillers that I'll show off at the end. But I'll set this off to the side, crack into roll 27, and bring you back then. The box is now fully hunted, and as you can see, the second half was pretty slow there. Only a couple of finds to note, the first being this pretty lustrous 1967 here. I'd even call this a BU, if not a low mint state even. I set that off to the side there, and the only other one being this, another minor error. We have here our 2000 P New Hampshire quarter, and I don't know if it was a weak strike or struck through grease or something, but you can see it's missing a lot of detail there on the Liberty, as well as pretty much can't even see the P mint mark, and there's a small die crack over the R and dollar there. I'll put a more zoomed in picture here so you can see what I'm talking about. I guess that about wraps it up for this pretty slow box. I'll be in just a bit with our National Park quarter album, see if we have anything that can fill some empty spaces in that Whitman folder. So while the box might have been light on finds, I was able to find a few album fillers for holes I still had in my folder here. So I was able to add a 2010 Denver Minted Hot Springs, a 2011 Denver Minted Chickasaw, as well as a 2012 Denver Minted Denali quarter, a 2014 P Great Smoky Mountains, of which we found 2, a 2014 D Arches, 2 again, and a 2015 D Bombay Hook, of which we found 2 again. So that brings the total number here. Well, I was missing 15 of those 45. We found 6, so it's now 36 of 45 found. And just because I like pulling them out because they're lower mintages to see how many are still floating around in circulation, I also found 8 more 2009 minted quarters, 5 2010s, 6 more 2011s, and 4 2012s. And we'll see about the ones that I can add to the second half of the National Park Quarters album as well. So for the second National Park folder, just a couple of additions here. The 2020 Denver Minted Salt River Bay quarter, as well as those 2021 D Tuskegee Airmen quarters we found. There were 105 total in that one box hunt there. I'm probably going to roll one up to keep and then maybe just spend the rest, deposit them in tip jars in my area and let other people enjoy the hunt as well. So the box is a bit light on finds. We just had, I guess, the other ones being that lustrous 1967, as well as the minor errors on the 1966 reverse, and that 2000 New Hampshire light strike struck through grease. Not really sure yet. With the only real find of the box being that 2013 S minted, not intended for circulation, Great Basin quarter. Well, not a ton of finds here, but hopefully you enjoyed this one-box quarter hunt, and I hope you keep it here at Cape Cod Coins for more exciting numismatic content, and we'll see you next time.